Let the win continue.
I have my eyes on you.
Why you have that on you?
I have a talking stage.
No.
That's progress.
No. Progress. Well, it's a talking stage. Let's not jump the gun.
Exactly.
I said might now.
Alisari block Karawa. For the WhatsApp.
By the way, guys, do you think Fernandes can break that record?
He
will. We
I
have
think he
the
will.
one in Italy.
He
Actually,
will add one more against Brentford. Then the remaining games too.
I wanted to just do the two
too
today.
shy.
Just do the two today. Let's know that you're only chasing breaking the record.
actually,
I don't want to jinx it.
because that's how we thought that Kevin De
Kevin
Bruyne
De
was
Bruyne.
going to break it, and he just
5
matched
games to
Stop
go, you
the
had
record.
18 or so.
Yes, and he
Well,
just
managed to do 20.
managed to like match the record of Thierry Henry. Well, they say good teams come to those who wait. For Chelsea, it is a different ball game altogether because they had to, take the bull by the horn. And this week, we are back to talking about football and everything around football, but majorly around the club who could not wait until the end of the season and had to take themselves out of what looked like an impending doom coming towards them. My name is Euphoria, and this is another episode of The Gliders. Welcome, guys. This is where we talk about football, sports, and everything around it on Mondays for an entire hour to give you the very best. And I do not work alone, like I always like to say. Like Liverpool, I do not work alone. I work with my friends, and today I have a Liverpool fan on Saturday, and of course a Manchester United fan who, unlike Bruno Fernandes, is one we get to see once in a blue moon, but he's around today. Let me start with him. Felix, how are you doing?
I'm good, I'm fine. That one took me
you
off
got
guard.
the Bruno Fernandes reference, because that was the conversation with you and the producer today when we were talking about how many times Bruno gets to miss a game in the Premier League.
6 times.
6 times.
Through
Through
injury.
injuries.
In 5
Always-
hours.
he's
6 years.
Always
At
present.
Manchester United. Wow, that one took me off guard.
Why can't you take hints from your player?
I'll try my best. But it's just too good. Bruno is just too good. That level of Bruno Fernandes, that's where I want to get to be fair. But like, wow, that one hooked me. You know what I was going to do when Joy was introduced? I was going to say welcome back from London. But that one way she can't do that. You don't pass because
that's why she's the host.
How can you surpass that? But yeah, good to be back on the show. It's been a minute. We are back here. This is the red side. That's the blue side. Can we say this is the winning side? And that's the struggling side.
Really?
Now I'm asking. I'm not saying. I'm
cannot
asking.
Don't leave me. Don't leave me.
You cannot really say.
Okay, can we say this is the Champions League side? That is the side that don't know what they are going to do with their season next season.
Well, you cannot really say. Also.
Okay. Can we say this is the side that have a stable coach?
Played in the Champions League, while some people were playing Monday football.
I like that you have added ED. Played.
That's
This
why
side
you see
will
the world
play.
champion.
This side
From
will
any
play.
Champions League.
This side is still the defending champion. So let's
Wow.
This is the defending champion of the world. And
This is the most successful English team
where how?
in the England. I don't know, everything. They don't collect everything from my hand. I was going to say most successful Premier League
I knew
team.
you were going to go there. They get 20, you get 20. You want to talk Champions League, they get 6, you get 3.
we are the kings.
So you are no longer there. You're not it.
Emmanuel is smiling. I'm happy.
No,
Well, don't worry.
He has not been happy in a while.
No, but I'll make him happy right now. Emmanuel, how are you doing? Emmanuel is happy because not just because he's the king of England. I mean, right now there's nothing that United can use to brag. Liverpool has surpassed them in every right.
If you want to say treble, City have done it. If you want to say win the title 3 times in a row, City have
Calm
done
down.
4.
You don't be City.
I'm saying United,
No,
we
they
don't
don't have
have
anything
any
to
bragging right.
brag anymore.
Treble,
Right
City
now,
have done it.
I mean,
3 in a row, City have done 4. City about to do domestic treble twice.
and they're about to do what? I don't understand.
Okay, you think you have?
Oh, you say you think? Don't worry. Be there. When it comes to finals, that's one thing that Chelsea know how to play. But that's beside the point.
You have lost
Also,
5. I'll be 6-3 at Wembley.
don't worry. Be there. Calm down. The person that I don't used to work alone because that's his club is Emmanuel. Emmanuel is joining us on the show today. He was here last week as the host, and today he's joining on the show. Emmanuel, how are you doing? How is Anfield? I know Anfield is not as Anfield used to be, but I mean we got good news. We got good news while I was not around that my man would not be leaving. Talking about Andy Slot, he will be renewing for not renewing. He's going to be around for next season. You guys are casting all your hope behind him to see if he can change things around for the club, seeing that he's still in contention, I mean, to get to the Champions League this season.
Well, in the top 4 right now, beautiful win against Palace. But I mean, if he's there, we have no choice than to support him. Even though we don't want him to be there.
Make
I personalize him now. Even though I don't want him to be there, but I mean, I have no choice.
Don't you think
No, to be honest. The fact that, I mean, he signed a 3-year deal. Next season will be his final. There's not been any talk of you can't give him a contract with the kind of form you've shown.
So there is no way Liverpool will go into the season knowing that their manager will be running on his final year. If he does well, we will go by the boss. The negotiation will be tough. The same Trent,
then let them negotiate.
Konate, Van Dijk situation, that's where you people will find yourself.
It might be different because this time is the coach, but let them negotiate. If he does well, put yourself in that
what would you
negotiating
categorize
power.
as doing well? I mean, he's no longer going to win anything this season.
Yeah, just start the season well. Let's see.
I mean,
so you'll be comfortable you people going into next season before talking about negotiation.
That's what I'm trying to say. The fact that they are not a contract negotiation right now shows that they don't even trust him right now to go into next season, because early this season,
because they know that there will be the summer to do it.
That's what I'm saying. Or there might be a thinking that he might be gone. They might let him go in the summer. That might also be playing the picture.
They will let him go.
So they might just
Xabi Alonso that is free.
Exactly.
He's freaking you guys.
He's not on that way. You have managers that are available. So you can't. No, you just mentioned one name. Xabi Alonso is one.
Some people are in the market hunting for money right now. This one wants to come and join them.
Yes, now I mean you can take.
My United never get money.
You can take on the slot if you want him. Take him.
No.
Him to you, but to be honest, credit to Slot. Yes, he's done well in the last couple of games in the top 4. Not entirely, because like I said in our forum, no thanks to Chelsea, to Villa, who's been faltering. Had those two teams really been, I mean, we won't be in the 4th position right now. But you have to, if the team fails, if you want to call out the manager when the team also do well, give credit to the manager as well. So credit for what he's done. But long term, the fact that there's no contract talks right now heading into the final year of a contract shows that the board is still double thinking, second guessing if this is the right man to go with this team come next season. But yeah, I'm happy the team is winning, back-to-back wins, and yeah, let's end the season on a high. I don't see us finishing outside the Champions League places right now.
Where would you like Liverpool to finish by the end of the there is a reason I'm asking this question for.
Above Manchester United.
Okay, you like third?
Yes, above Manchester United. Yeah.
As long as above Manchester United.
Above Manchester United.
Okay. Talking about finishing on a high and seeing a manager finish the season, there is a club that refused to allow that happen because of the way results were turning out. I mean, Emmanuel just talked about the fact that Liverpool had good results in recent weeks, and which is the reason they are still fourth currently. But Chelsea, on the other hand, who sometimes I saw the log the day Man City overtook Arsenal to become table leaders for the first time since I think August.
Game week 1.
No, it was not game week 1.
They only topped the table after game week 1.
That's
then
Man
they left.
City.
Yes.
So Arsenal has been.
Liverpool
Chelsea.
have had
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
That's what I'm saying. I said at some point Chelsea were number 1. We are topping the table right now. They are sitting 8th on that table, and Chelsea went through a very, very crazy run of form in the last couple of weeks. Went 5 games without scoring a goal, 5 games defeat for the first time since 1912. There was so much going on, and then the final thing that finally broke the camel's back was that 3-0 defeat to their friends and partners in business. Talking about
their role model. People they are trying to cap Chelsea like.
Talking about Brighton, Hove Albion, and after that particular game, of course, there were rumors and everything, and then the next day, before you knew it, it was club statements. And once you're a Chelsea fan, once you see club statements, you already know that Otuzize, yes, Liam Rosenior was relieved of his job. And when I saw that thing, I shook my head. That was the 10th manager in about 10 seasons at Chelsea since and then if we're even talking about Chelsea,
an average of one manager per season.
Going by the last couple of years in which the current ownership has taken over, we've seen managers from Frank Lampard, who did 2 spells with Chelsea. We saw Tuchel, we saw Maresca, we saw Potter,
Graham Potter.
We saw
Rosenior.
Before Rosenior, we saw Pochettino also. Yes, so all these managers,
6 managers in 3 years.
3 years.
Before years.
Before him, we already, of course, before the handover, we already had Antonio Conte. We had before Mourinho. Mourinho was still far off. 2015. I'm talking about Mauricio Sarri. Just so many names that have come out of that dugout for Chelsea in just about a decade. And now the latest victim is Liam Rosenior. Now we're going to be talking about how things panned down for the former Strasbourg manager. Where did he get it wrong in that particular job at Chelsea? That's a dream manager's job for any manager who is looking to manage a top club in Europe, and you got that opportunity. I mean, I don't see many managers who turn down, except you're a top manager. I don't see any manager who is trying to grow his resume who will willingly turn down such an offer. It was a big offer, a big jump for him from Strasbourg to Chelsea. He got a bigger paycheck, obviously, got to manage bigger profile of players, bigger egos in a bigger environment, bigger stadium with bigger pedigree than he has ever done before. And I mean, in about how many games he managed, he got like a 45% winning ratio, lost very, very reasonable number of games, including that embarrassing defeat to Paris Saint-Germain, that they defeated in the finals of the Club World Cup in just about 8 months
under the previous
ago.
manager.
Yes, under the previous same manager who brought them into this competition. Back into the competition, by the way, talking about the UEFA Champions League, and that's how they bowed out of the Champions League. But after that, the club looked like they were still going to stay with him, but results were not coming through. Now, come with this question first before we go into the main conversation. Where did he get it all wrong for you, Felix, talking about Liam, from the very beginning till he was sacked?
That was where he got it wrong, from the very beginning.
Chai.
From the very beginning, from his first words, from the clips that circulated on social media, that's man age. You are managing men. Man age.
He wanted to be poetic now.
Yes, the school teacher vibe was from the off, the glasses, the menu, the plenty grammar. I Xabi English.
There was an EPL Obama slander name for him on social media.
I think he got it wrong a lot of places, but the Chelsea board, I think, should take more blame for Liam Rosenior. He was doing fine with Strasbourg. They should have left him there to develop and continue his development there. If you are letting a manager who has just won the Club World Cup leave, in a dressing room that you have World Cup winner, Club World Cup winners, some players who have won league titles from their previous team coming to Chelsea, youngsters with high potential, you need somebody either who has a name that can control those ego, or somebody with a proven record in grooming youngsters that they can say, okay, look at the track record of this person. Under this person, so player developed into a world beater. Liam Rosenior did not have any of those. And then when Chelsea won the first couple of games, I saw those games, and Chelsea fans were all over the world, all over the moon rather, and looking the game from a different view. I saw that there were tactical lapses in those games, but because they won, it was very hard to prove that there was those deficiencies. But you could see it, him coming into the team, saying he wants to. In the first couple of games, he played a system where Andre Santos was dropping into the defense, playing the back three and all of that. All those new modern day coach. One show I learned from Pep. I want flex. Coach. At that time, when a team loses a coach, the first thing you need to do is stabilize.
Yeah.
Similar thing to what Carrick has done. Similar thing to what McFarlane did the first time he came into the job, those 2 games against City, stabilize, get your senior players on board. This one, he did not have the senior players. He did not have the respect of the senior players. And he did not have the support cast in his backroom staff. From what we are hearing, McFarlane came from an academy somewhere that Chelsea owners, the Chelsea directors created. There are 2 of his backroom staff came from that academy, 28-year-old, 48 people with no pedigree. There was nobody the Chelsea players could look at and say, okay, this person don't do him. If there was a John Terry in that backroom staff at that time, I remember John Terry coming out to say, I did not get any phone call and all of that. A John Terry in that backroom staff, similar to what Manchester United, they brought in Carrick, they got this guy, the assistant to, what's he called? Gareth Southgate in England.
What's his name now?
Fletcher.
Steve something.
Yeah, I've forgotten his name.
Steve
Holland.
Yeah, okay.
Into the team. They brought in an ex-player with multiple Premier League titles to his name, even though he was not the best of them, Johnny Evans. Like, they brought people that you could see have played in this league, have this pedigree,
like,
they can pass knowledge.
We are all talking about.
If you look at the Chelsea backroom staff, there was nobody you would look and say, okay, what was your previous job? The head coach, the best thing he has done in his life was Strasbourg.
BSc. Football.
So there was nothing to show those players that this is the example that we are looking at. So from the off, everything was already destined to be catastrophic for Chelsea. Then when it skyrockets was when he allowed the player luxury. I remember that press conference he did after the Chelsea players did that huddle in the center circle.
Yes.
So we wanted to respect the ball. It's the player's decision. I said, man, what the hell is this? Do your huddle in your half. Respect the other team so that the game can start. He said it's the player's decision. The other time he said it's the players that decided who would be their captain. In how many weeks so he don't date there. Players have decided that this person should be their captain for this game. The next game he went back to another captain. It was just all over the place. The power felt like it was always with the players. So you always knew that this marriage was never going to pass honeymoon stage.
Okay. At the point in time, let's come to the main conversation now. At the point in time when he looked to begin to lose the dressing room, we saw him starting to now want to make like a statement where he punished Enzo Fernandez and I mean, he didn't play that game against City. Yes, that's City. But then he came on just before they were going to play United. He played United? Yes.
He missed Portville and City.
And City, City at home. That particular one, he was trying to now make a statement at that point in time, and then we saw the whole thing pan out from conversations or statements that and body language that players like Enzo Fernandez made. Statements coming out of coming from a player still playing in your team when a new manager is on the team, in Cucurella, coming out to talk about how much they miss Maresca, how much they are not comfortable with the way they Caicedo did a kind of, and that's what I'm saying, like different players were coming out, and at that point in time he was trying to now put his authority on the team. A particular respected journalist in Matt Law, who has covered Chelsea over the years, I mean, covered them up close over the years there in England, came out to release a particular article just after he was sacked, said Chelsea players are more like crybabies. Now, it reminded me of when a similar article was released after AVB was sacked, and where they mentioned the fact that players in the dressing room were too powerful, and then when they felt like they could actually wield that power, they did and got him sacked. It was also the conversation when players were set to turn against a manager in Jose Mourinho, like Diego Costa and the other players. Eden Hazard also was also said to be part of the players to do that. Now, do you think that this is exactly what played out for him, or you just think that he could not just deliver the job and all this were just extras for him, or I mean extras that eventually got him sacked?
You know, when Felix said the first few games where he was watching the game differently, I mean, not for me, because when you win 7 of your first 9, you feel something is coming, something good is coming, good
That was
fortune is
new manager bounce.
coming to the club and all that. But
some don't get it.
for up to
You will
7
talk
games,
about Igor who didn't get that
Amorim.
new
You
manager bounce.
he's not always down to new manager bounce. But even though, doing 7 out of 9, that's the stretch. You just say, okay, new manager bounce. So you felt, okay, there's some consistency here. Okay, this might just be the right man for the job. But so many things happened along the way. He doesn't look imposing, to be honest, Liam Rosenior, because that appointment was an appointment that shocked so many, even the Chelsea fans. Looking at the list of managers when Enzo Maresca was sacked, nobody could have envisaged a coach like Liam Rosenior to come into the picture, because there was no track record, of decent jobs that he's done. I mean, you just coaching the sister club, to 7th place in the French Ligue 1, and of course they're in the Conference League right now, in the semi-finals. Talking about Strasbourg now, who have done so well since his departure, but a lot went wrong for Liam Rosenior. He lost the dressing room. When your players come out to eulogize the former manager, something is wrong. So, you that is at the helm of affairs, you would want to do something about it. So maybe the punishment to Enzo Maresca, you felt, okay, he needed to do that to Enzo Fernandez, to stamp his authority. He needed to do that as the manager. Okay, you need to stamp your authority on the team. But, sometimes, there are some senior figures that you just find a way, instead of an outright punishment, you just find a way to handle things, to manage the situation. It might not just be an outright punishment and say, okay, you're not going to play in the next couple of games. There are just some ways you could have handled it better. Yes, it's justified to punish him, but I felt for a manager like Liam Rosenior, I don't think he has that capacity to go as far as making that punishment, even though it can be justified. You're not Absoluti, you're not Mourinho, who won things before. When you come out to punish a player, the player might say, okay, it's justified, kind of, because this is a respected name, a respected figure. But it doesn't exude any respect. It doesn't. Liam Rosenior, I'm sorry to say, and so many instabilities in that back line. Yes, you want to say injuries might play a part, but I don't think there was a stable back line throughout his tenure at Chelsea. Different centre-back pairings.
At some point, he extended even to the goalkeeper.
To the goalkeeper as well. So, he was just trying to work things out and trying to figure things out and all that. So, you felt something was really wrong. That first few games gave so many people belief, because at some point I was even referencing Liam Rosenior to the Liverpool situation. See, look at Chelsea. They signed a new manager. They were winning games upon games and all that. Let's, that such kind of thing. This is just me admitting right now, but you could see a lot of things went wrong along the way. Lost the dressing room. Players shouldn't just be coming out to talk about the previous manager when you are currently the man in charge. So Liam Rosenior, the job too big for him. Was a huge leap. Not all managers can move from Strasbourg to Chelsea with the reputation they've had for the knack of relieving managers of their duty. To be honest, I don't know if there will be any young manager who would want to come on to manage a club like Chelsea right now with the way things go. Yes, we hear there was a breakaway clause on his deal when he signed for Chelsea.
It showed how inexperienced he was to allow that
to happen.
Kind of clause.
He
signing 6 years.
More like he knew what was coming and all that. So there was a lot of inexperience around Liam Rosenior and the appointment, not just for him, the people who made the decision. There was a lot of inexperience in them appointing a coach.
I like that Chelsea fans all over the world are beginning to call out their directors. Because those people
I think there was a protest just before the Manchester United game.
They need to be called out. Those directors, we can't say or whatever the man name and the other one is. I like that Chelsea fans are beginning to call them out, because this whole structure is their idea.
Exactly.
Like they looked at Brighton and said, we want to model Chelsea the Brighton way. But Chelsea and Brighton, they are playing in a different sphere level. In terms of football. They are on different level. Brighton are a club that are a selling club. They need to develop youngsters to sell and make sure that they are sustainable. Chelsea are not a selling club. Chelsea buy and have. Yes, you can obviously buy young players, groom them, make them better. But Chelsea are a team that are going into every season hoping to win. Brighton don't go into the Premier League season hoping to qualify for the Champions League. Chelsea, that's the minimum. Qualify for Champions League, try and win the Premier League, try and win the FA Cup. Brighton don't go with those targets. If we get that far, we clap, we celebrate like when they qualify for Europa. But if it does not happen, they go on with their season. They know that we want to be sustainable. We want to buy a Baleba for 12 million and sell him for 60. We want to buy a Kukureya from Barcelona and sell him to Chelsea for almost 60. We want to buy a Caicedo and sell him for
He's
huge
your
amount.
pedo.
Want to
I mean-
sign a coach that nobody knew anywhere in Graham Potter
Potter.
and sell him to Chelsea and collect that's the Brighton model. That cannot be a model that Chelsea want to follow. Chelsea cannot say we want to buy Kopama at 21, develop him to 25 so that we can sell him to Madrid, then start again with another project. That cannot be Chelsea. You develop your best player, they become great stars and they stay there and help you win. So I don't know. They need to go back to that project and say maybe we'll sign young players, but we'll also sign matured, talented players for the now that can deliver trophies.
And talented coaches as well. And this is the time they need to get it right because they've been getting it wrong for such a long time right now.
Unfortunately for them, this is the time that there are not many experienced, talented coaches available. They would have to wait till the end of July. If Nagelsmann is as good as people say he is, Germany should get to the semi-finals of the World Cup.
They actually look like a team that would wait, because even in the statement,
July.
I mean,
Season starts in August. When they go to preseason?
not
You
July.
know.
I mean,
No, I'm saying if Germany
goes
far in the World
go
Cup,
far in the World Cup,
they will
Oh,
get
there's
to
the
like
World
the
Cup,
semi-finals.
there's that.
So see, preseason go don't start. Your new coach no go there.
Well, let's look at it from this angle. They said in the statement that with the interim manager there, they are taking the entirety of this period to reflect on everything that has brought them to this stage. They know that they are in a very difficult and dangerous place as a club. That is a statement that they put out. It should mean something to the fans and, of course, to the people who would be going back. And I think that there would be kind of a shake-up in that sporting director position, seeing that the club has come under so much fire. For them to have fans protesting in the middle of the season. Fans protested twice. The second time was that one just before the game against Manchester United, which they lost again in Stamford Bridge, and fans were like, they protested before the game and then they went on to lose that game. There was so much fire on the mountain. I think those are part of things that, because for a team that, for a club that said they were going to stay with him, and he was even talking about the fact that he wants to manage Chelsea, talking about manage Chelsea for the next 6 years and all of that. To sack him just after that,
That 6 months.
There was so much pressure on that this team, or under the ownership, were under from a lot of angles. But that's for Chelsea in terms of why they are here where they are right now. Now let's talk about potentials that can come in the summer. We already talked about Nagelsmann, but Nagelsmann is a very big but because of Germany at the World Cup. Now, who are the other available names? We have Silva with, Silva with Premier League experience. We have
Silva and good. I have
Silva with Premier League experience. We have someone who has done it before with Chelsea, with Premier League experience too, and now he's bringing a club with no Premier League experience back to the Premier League after he was sacked from Chelsea. Talking about Lampard. He has been with Chelsea twice, 2 spells. One was pretty stable. He helped them qualify for the Champions League after one season, and the season in which they did not sign any players due to that transfer ban. They still qualified for the Champions League with this manager. The second time was a not too good fairy tale for him, but he has gone all back to other clubs and finally landed in a club where he was able to stabilize them and did what a lot of people consider to be a miracle, bringing them back to the Premier League for the first time since 2001. Talking about Coventry, that is talking about Frank Lampard. That is one other person. Talk about Areola also listed in the names we are hearing. There's also Glasner, who has won titles with Germany and Crystal Palace, and Cesc Fabregas, who is, he himself knew that there's rumors. He had come out to talk about the fact that he's comfortable where he is. Nobody has approached his club, and he's very sure that his owners right there in Como are happy with the job he's doing. But when you hear a manager start talking like that, you know that he has heard rumors that this club might be eyeing him. There's also Xabi Alonso, who is jobless, by the way, even though that is the person that I'm sure that Emmanuel might also be eyeing.
He's an unbeaten manager.
If they chase, he was beaten in Madrid, please. If they chase and the slot away at the end of the season, but I don't think they will do that. Maybe they will allow him start the new season, and if he doesn't deliver, then they would will that one.
That's possible.
Who do you think Chelsea should be going for among the names listed? And if I did not list any names that you think should be, Felix talked about the fact that nobody in the backroom staff of Liam Rosenior, including himself, had the track record to be able to stand up to the players in terms of what the players themselves have achieved. All those players right there, aside from Garnacho is even an FA Cup winner, if you want to even talk about that. Everyone has at least one trophy to boast of. So if you are bringing a manager, you should bring a manager who has done something significant in the world of football. I've mentioned all these names, and obviously they have something going for them at one point or the other. And if we're not going to talk about any of these, who else do you think Chelsea should be going towards in terms of developing the young talents they have, and also in terms of managing the older players who would still stay at the club if Enzo Fernandez is going to stay, if obviously they've renewed the contract of Caicedo, who is going to be there for a long time. There's Kopama, who has a long contract with Chelsea. They might be bringing back Nico Jackson, who obviously has issues with Bayern Munich retaining him. So there are a lot of players with big egos and long contracts. Who is this manager who can manage them and also manage the young stars and the likes of Esteval and all the younger players? Garnacho, if he's going to remain at the club after the season.
On the list of available managers, I would say the best one would probably not be available to Chelsea, and I think it's Andoni Iraola. I would have said should be under, because we've seen.
Why won't he be available to Chelsea?
He already announced his departure, and the talks are he's going back to his former club, Bilbao.
But no, although
it looks like
they've gotten a manager, Terzic.
So maybe he had something else. He's already resigned from that role. Managers don't resign that early, except they already have something fixed. And at the time, Liam Rosenior was not even this close to getting sacked. So it's probably not Chelsea that is going. Could be Madrid. Because Madrid don't have a permanent manager yet.
Yes, yeah.
So I don't think he would be available to Chelsea. Now we are left with the Cesc Fabregas. Cesc Fabregas will come in with the aura. I have won the league at this club. I have won the World Cup. I have won the Euros. I have won everything you possibly have won in your life. You, these guys here. So you have to listen to me. And his football is eye-catching. He has the pedigree. He has the record of who they named Fabregas. So I think if Andoni Iraola is not available to them because of his Premier League experience, that's why I would put him above Cesc Fabregas. Marco Silva has Premier League experience, but we saw him at Everton. Everton is nowhere near Chelsea, but it's a bigger club than Fulham in terms of, at the time. Fulham probably in a more richer area than Everton, but it's a bigger club.
A bigger club in terms of
Everton are a bigger club than Fulham, and we saw how things went with him there. At that time, it was unfortunate. Everton had Rodriguez and all of those. They were trying to build a big squad. His ego, his kind of personality clashed with those players, so we probably would see the same thing. And he's another manager who has not won much in his life. He has Premier League experience, but so I'll just say maybe Chelsea. It's all their best. Fabregas is a former player. Fabregas is a legend of the game. He has that name, and his football is good. We can see the work he's doing with Como, taking them from Serie B to Serie A, and now looking like they'll probably qualify to play in Europe next season. So Fabregas is looking like the best bet outside those managers that I don't think would be available. If they can take that risk, like you said, of waiting for Julian Nagelsmann with Germany, and maybe just hope that maybe Germany just get knocked out in round 16 or quarterfinals. I think Nagelsmann, how he plays, the kind of players that Chelsea have, young players with intensity, he would fit. But I don't know that Chelsea can wait till mid to end July, because after the World Cup, he would want to take a break.
Yeah.
To refresh. So he probably starts the job in August. Maybe 1 week to the start of the Premier League. And you don't want your coach doing pre-season in the season. So I don't know if Chelsea can afford to wait. Fabregas looks like their best bet. Xabi Alonso will probably wait for the Liverpool job.
Or the City one.
To come. I think he would wait for the... Let's see what slot. Even if they allow him going into next season, let's see. He'll just be hovering around the corridors of Anfield and probably waiting for that job. So it's looking like Cesc Fabregas. That is Felipe Luis. He coached, was this Palmeiras or
yes.
Flamengo,
one of them, yeah.
And he won the league with them, did very well. He had a breakup that was nasty with the body in Flamengo. Maybe Chelsea can reason him. Even though Atletico Madrid were saying there were talks that when Diego Simeone eventually leaves, Felipe Luis is the one they are looking to bring in. So they can consider him. But I think Fabregas right now, of all the available, it would be stupid for Frank Lampard to go back for a third time. If he did not work the first time, did not work the second time, it's probably not going to work the third time. And now that you have a job where you are like a king at Coventry, bringing them from the Premier League after 25 years, stay on that job, build yourself one more year, then maybe by that time you can start considering getting a bigger job.
I think I'll agree with majority of what Felix say, except for a few. Cesc Fabregas, stay away from the job for now, because I mean, for his own good, stay away. I mean, because it's looking like Como will qualify for Europe. Champions League is still possible, even though I think that would be a huge step forward. But it's looking like Europa League and Conference League is really feasible for Como. So stay there, play European football, coach the team in Europe for the first time in their history. So
and for your own first time
as well as a manager. So stay away from the Chelsea job. Like he rightly said, Frank Lampard also, no need coming back to the job. Stay away from it.
We are moving. Chelsea no go get coach.
No. I'm heading somewhere. So there is talking about managers who are on paper right now not available, but Chelsea can still do something to sway some of those managers. Luis Enrique is there, still yet to sign a contract extension with PSG.
True.
I mean, you're Chelsea, defending champions, Club World Cup, you've won trophies in the past. You can go, I don't know if these owners have the balls to go convince a manager like Luis Enrique, but that is the man you need.
They had the balls to go,
on paper, yes, he's still contracted to PSG, but there's no extension yet. So go put the project in front of him.
The owners don't want a manager like Luis Enrique. They want a yes.
And they've been getting yes boss, and it's not been working.
Luis Enrique would revolutionize that Chelsea structure.
It's just the man I see perfect for the job. Go there, try.
I think
put the proposal out to him out there.
I am not the owners. They got someone who was not a yes man in Maresca. They saw how sweet the romance with the
he was a yes man too until he won.
Until he won. That's the word. Then he started.
Was he really a yes man?
He was a yes. He was nobody. Nobody only Leicester.
Not as a yes man like Liam.
He wasn't under like the signing small children too, Gittins and co. He could not say anything. I don't want this player. It was after I won the Club World Cup. That's when he started saying, okay, when the back I want this. When they tell him that this person is not fit, he has played 3 games straight, you need to rest. He said, no, I will play him. Started going against medical advice during that time. So he was a yes man until he won. True. And he decided to not be a yes man. Pochettino was a yes man to them. They thought he was a yes man until he told them that I want good players. He finished 5th or thereabout. They were going to let him stay, but he told them that if I'm going to be here, if we are going to be a partnership going forward, I would need better players. They said, okay, no, that's not the direction I want to move. Bye-bye. They let him go. So Luis Enrique if I'm Luis Enrique, it does not make any sense for me to leave PSG. They're about to do back-to-back Champions
League. That's what I'm saying. After the season ends, that's what I'm saying. So
I will stay where
he's won everything with PSG.
One thing with Luis Enrique also, why I'm saying the angle Emmanuel is coming from is that he's a very crazy manager. No one believed he was going to leave Barcelona at the point in time he left Barcelona after what he did, the treble there. But once he found out that, you guys wanted to make the players feel more powerful than we were, and then you just felt,
But he's not having that at PSG. He's the man in charge. He has everything he needs.
And that's
why leave that kind of luxury? The results are going fine.
He's won it all. What's the motivation again? He's won everything.
He's done it over.
He's been doing
what has been motivating Pep?
So write a new story. I mean, you have a chance to write a new story with Chelsea.
He wants to do it like Pep. He has done it in
and I think, to be honest,
come and dominate in England. Pep will soon leave, so we need someone else come and dominate in England.
To be honest, if you ask me, if Chelsea go for Enrique, if they push, I think he will take the job. He will accept the job, to be honest, if they go on and say this is the man they want. Because yes, you might want to say as it stands, PSG are in a better position than Chelsea.
Let me put a plot twist. Man United don't have a coach. If you are Enrique, Man United and Chelsea comes for you. They are willing to give you the power that you get, the players, the backing that you get. If you are Enrique, Man United, Chelsea come for you. Where do you go?
To be honest, I mean, I'll choose.
So if Enrique is available, Man United will probably puts their head. If Enrique is available and Pep wins the league this season and decide to go, City might decide to go for him.
But we hear City also. I mean, Maresca is in the mix as well. We've even seen some section of Chelsea fans calling for his recall to come back to the team. I don't know if he's going to accept that or if he's going to do that.
He'll probably come back, but the owners have not repented. They will not go for it.
I don't think he will come back if the owners have not repented. He will not be foolish to do that.
You know, if you ask me, from all the list of managers you listed, I don't think there's anyone capable of leading
Obviously,
Chelsea.
Enrique is standout.
You know, just go there and just do it for the fans. That I don't think if you go out and appoint a Luis Enrique, any fan out there will grumble about it and all that.
If everybody sniffs that Enrique is available,
everybody goes.
Everybody
options
will
will be
and
plenty
to be
for him.
difficult for Chelsea to get him. Because they don't want to pay managers and players the way they want to be paid.
And also,
they want to give those long-term useless contracts that they can pin you down and all of all those
also
things.
we also have to consider the fact that Chelsea might not be playing in the Champions League next season, and that will also matter for certain managers.
I mean, he's played it before. He's done it. He's won it.
So be extra motivation.
It might just be extra motivation. So I don't think that would be an issue. Like, as if Chelsea are really serious to go for Enrique, and I mean, playing out of Europe might not sway them. Just go there. I mean, put the proposal out there. I think he would take the job and do something out there with Chelsea, because if you put a young manager out there, even the Iraola we're all talking about, fantastic job is done with Bournemouth. But if he goes to Chelsea, it might just go sour for him, you know, for Chelsea, because that's a really pressure job. I mean, there's pressure with every job, but Chelsea right now, for a young coach, a young manager, I don't think it's where a young coach would want to be right now, that club, Chelsea Football Club. So I might even want to chip in the name, even if Jose Mourinho, but it's too old and all that. But let's
if that board will refuse to agree for someone like Maresca, is it Mourinho they want to bring?
Mourinho will not even pick their phone.
They will not pick their phone call. But yes, if you can let us know in the comment section who you think Chelsea should be tilting towards to appoint at the end of this season after they see out their season. I mean, the season is almost done. We have about 4 more games to go.
Yeah, 4 match weeks.
Four match weeks to go. And yes, Chelsea gets to play the finals of the FA Cup against City, and after that everybody goes back to the drawing board, talking about clubs, and then everybody go to the World Cup, and that is where we'll be turning the satellite of our conversation towards talking about the FIFA World Cup, which is just about 50 something days away from now. We'll be doing that after this short break, and when we're back, we're going to turn towards something that looks like a model that's happening in the political space of Nigeria, but we are seeing it in the World Cup. So stay tuned. It's still the Glider, so come back after the short break. Stay with us. Yeah, welcome back. It is still the Gliders. If you've stayed from the beginning of the conversation till this time, you're the real MVP. Welcome back. Thank you for staying. We've been talking about a lot about club football and around the World Cup, or the Club World Cup champions, defending champions Chelsea. Now we'll be moving from those World Cup champions or Club World Cup champions to the World Cup itself proper, the Men's World Cup, which is going to be coming up this summer in the Americans, the United States of America, Mexico, and Canada. These are the 3 countries that will be hosting it. But there's been a lot of controversies around the World Cup, the build up to the World Cup. I mean, the World Cup has not started yet. Maybe when it starts, maybe all of that would be enveloped with the excitement of the game, but before then there's been fears about safety. I mean, just some hours ago, about 48 to 72 hours ago, there was an attempt on assassination of this person who's supposed to be the most guarded, the safest person on American soil, talking about President Donald Trump, the United States president. Aside from that, we've had issues with a lot of people who have qualified for the World Cup. I'm talking about countries, especially those from Africa, where a lot of them would not be able to watch those teams because of the stricter immigration policy of the current president of the United States. And also, there's also the fact that certain countries will not feel safe enough to play at the World Cup. Let me give a mention to the name Iran. There's also the fact that this World Cup is going to be the most expensive World Cup, not because of the money pumped into it alone. I mean, we saw that with Qatar. Qatar's, outspent about, let me calculate, like 5 previous World Cup, join all of them together. Qatar has spent all of them combined, and it was not still as expensive as this one is proposed to be, as we're seeing tickets of games to watch a single game at the World Cup at ridiculous prices right now. And a lot of complaints have come that even locals themselves will not even be able to afford train tickets to the stadiums because of how much a train ticket, in fact, they are not going to be able to buy on that day. They are bidding for train tickets to stadiums in the United States right now, to venues, to stadiums in the United States. They're already bidding for train tickets. You have to buy the train tickets against that day, because on that day there will not be train tickets available for sale on that particular day to go watch matches at different stadiums in the United States. All of this in the build-up to a World Cup that is supposed to be legendary, because this is the first time we're going to have the World Cup played in 3 different countries. That's the first time we're having it. After this, we're going to have another one. Of course, one of them would include an African country again in Morocco, because they'll be co-hosting with Spain and Portugal. But the United States, or the Americas World Cup, is the talking point right now. And the latest development which we're seeing yesterday into the early hours of this morning is that FIFA are going to be increasing the prize money for this particular World Cup. And Felix has something to say about that when we were talking about it before the show. And said it was the rice model as we see in Nigeria. For every problem that you encounter, you throw rice at it. So that is what he feels FIFA is doing with that particular one. Now, Felix, let's go into that, your train of thought. Talk us through why you think that this is the only approach in which FIFA is trying to get away from all the lapses that they've had in the build up to this World Cup.
I don't know if it's now thinking about it. It's not even a FIFA thing alone. You can see it in CAF, where we are having administrative issues, and every press conference that the CAF president does, would say we are increasing the prize money of the CAF Champions League. We are increasing the prize money of the CAF Confederations Cup. We are increasing the prize money of the WAFCON. We are increasing the prize money of the AFCON.
Yeah.
What are you doing to address those other situations that people are complaining about? They are numb. They are quiet about all of those. I was shocked when Tim sent the link into our group and said FIFA are talking about increasing the prize money of the FIFA. And the first thing that came to my head was, this is the Nigerian model here again. And in case you don't know what the Nigerian model, let me look into the camera and say it. In case you don't know what the Nigerian model is, if there is a problem anywhere in Nigeria now, say they kidnapped a whole village, when the presidency or the governor visit that village, you'd find that somehow there will be rice to be shared. You find that there is a bomb blast somewhere, and they go to visit that place. After the you find out that there is rice. If people complain that the roads are bad leading to their house, the next time the governor or the local government chairman or the presidency is getting anywhere close to that place, there is rice. What are you doing to solve those problems? We don't know. But you always see rice everywhere. That's the model that FIFA want to follow now. There is insecurity all over America. Yes, maybe not as much as elsewhere around the world, but almost every other time we are hearing drive-by shooting. They are hearing that they are trying to assassinate. This is the second time since they've announced that the United States will be hosting the World Cup, or even since Donald Trump returned back as presidency, that somebody is attempting to take his life. Second time, the president. There is all these immigration issues. There is the expenses.
And then you have to consider the fact that he's going to be at certain World Cup venues. So if he's a target to shootings, it means people are at risk of getting shot, because sometimes these people miss. And
it's not even just the threat to his life. Human rights activists and protesters have said people should not come, that it will not be safe because of all the protests. Americans are planning protests to use the World Cup as protests against some of the things that they don't feel happy with. Some communities that feel marginalized are hoping to use the World Cup as a protest ground. Iran is yet to confirm if they will be available or not available. People are saying they will be there. Americans say they can come, but their security is not guaranteed. There is all these shenanigans. And was it Sasu that posted that the former FIFA president, he was talking with him, and he said something that I was reasoning about it, and I said, okay. I was thinking about it, and I said, okay. A year to the World Cup, people should be talking about the football that we would see at the World Cup. What should you be expecting? This is the World Cup that nobody is talking about. This Ronaldo case or this is Ronaldo's last World Cup main goal winner. Nobody is talking. Argentina go fit defend
the highest thing we have done.
Nobody is saying
the closest thing has been like, the AI songs.
Yes, nobody is doing. Would this be Spain's return back to being World Cup champion? Nobody is talking about all those conversations. Every time you hear the World Cup, it's about expensive tickets. It's about insecurity. It's about immigration. It's about all the shenanigans that is happening by the game
and not the game itself.
FIFA president and his team are not doing enough PR-wise. I know sometimes you might not have solution to a problem, but you go use PR killer. You go bomber with PR. Now we are not even seeing the PR, and it's just 2 months.
It's less than 2 months.
Less than 2 months to the World Cup.
Something days.
And all these big conversations. The other time it was that a stadium that was going to host the World Cup is still not ready to be used. 2 months to the World Cup. The other one is the ticket for the opening game is still not sold out. The game where USA they play, the host country, because of how expensive it is still not sold out. Like, we should not be having all these conversations about the World Cup. We should be having footballing conversation. Which coach could shock us? Which player are you looking to watch
to
at
see
this
France
World Cup? Who will be the youngster?
Like finals,
James Rodriguez, Mario Götze, those people. We are not having those conversations. Instead, we are talking about all these things that are happening by the side. Are we going to be safe? Will they give me visa? Some journalists that their countries are qualified don't have visas yet for a World Cup that will happen in 2 months. So I don't know. The FIFA president and his team should do better in addressing this situation. Don't come and tell us FIFA would increase the prize money. This is international football. If we are being honest, international football should not thrive on prize money. FIFA is not a profit-generating organization. Theirs is to organize a World Cup where the fans will go there, enjoy it. The countries would obviously make money from their sponsors and everybody that's coming around. If the sponsors come in and the money has to increase, we do it. But let's not be doing other things to make the fans pay. You are increasing tickets. From that money, you now want to give the winning team more money. How does that affect the fan that is going to go to the stadium to go? What's my benefit if you increase the prize money that you want to give Kylian Mbappe and Lionel Messi and co if they win the World Cup, while I have to be the one that will suffer from paying out of my nose to go and see that World Cup? How do I gain? Especially if there's no guarantee that I'll probably enjoy that World Cup. How do I gain from that? So they should look at the fan culture. They should look at how the fans are going to benefit from this World Cup, solve those problems before they start talking about we want to increase prize money. The FIFA president was not elected to make profit for FIFA. Yes, profit is good. If you make profit, it's good. But FIFA, CAF, they are not profit generating. Leave that to the FAs of the countries. Leave that to the clubs. Those players get, some of these players that you want to give prize money, their countries don't pay them for playing. They send their money to charity. Some of them is the honor of playing for their country is what they are after, not that money in itself. So do what you need to do. Make the World Cup enjoyable for the fans, the players that want to play in the World Cup, the people that would watch it on the screen. Make it available to the people. Not if there's any problem that they announce. The next thing that you say, the highest goal scorer would go with a car. I beg.
And to be honest, it will be, there's still a possibility that we might have filled stadium, but also a possibility that there might be some empty seats because, you look at the the income disparities for smaller nations now. Talking about this World Cup. Sometimes when you look at the ticketing right now, the price of the ticket now, it can exceed the amounts.
I mean, locals, if locals that earn in dollar are complaining, we're not talking about those coming in. I'm just looking at it that way. I was seeing tweets from both mutuals who stay in the United States
and
who are already talking about the fact that for years before now, that thankfully, since they have been so busy, they can't travel out to watch World Cups outside the United States. Now that it's coming in, they are making plans to watch. I saw the tweet of one of them the other day who said, right now, you would rather use that money and go and deposit for mortgage than spending that amount of money to go watch.
Tickets are no longer available. The ones we go see now.
That's what I'm saying. Like at that point in time, he said it because people are now reselling, obviously, which is something that I think FIFA and other organizing bodies, CAF, always fail at doing. Why allow people buy tickets, a lot of tickets, and then end up reselling because it pays them? I mean,
it pays FIFA because those are the people that can pay the amounts that they want. Then they will now sell to VIPs.
Yeah, and
it pays FIFA that way. If FIFA is going to sell to the common man, they probably sell $70, $80. If they put it that way, it will be sold out, but they don't make.
For instance, the last CAF, the AFCON we went for, tickets were around, the lowest ticket was around $300 on the tickets, but at the end of the day, people ended up spending as much as $2,000 for regular tickets, for a single regular ticket, because of those issues, and people complained a lot. I mean, Senegalese, Nigerians could not get tickets to watch their countries play against host Morocco. So it's something that has become a regular issue for hosting countries. But that aside, how do you think FIFA can solve this issue of very expensive? Because I think FIFA can still come in. The last time during the Club World Cup, we saw them subsidize tickets when it became an issue before the club first game. I mean, before the first game of the Club World Cup. Yes, after that, they subsidized ticket. Do you think this is something that they should be able to look into when it concerns this particular one, or is already out of their hands?
I think they can still, do something about this, because to be honest, I fear the World Cup might lose traditional, passionate fans, working class fans to hospitality guests, kind of, because because of the high
because they can afford it.
So you lose that drive, from those
that will shout for 90 minutes.
You get, that's what the World Cup we know for. These things used to be accessible for the fans before. I don't know, is football still for the fans right now? That's another question to ask. Or is it for the working class people, or for the rich who are out there? So I think something needs to be done. I don't know if it is because we know it's a three-nation tournament that will be hosting, but of course we all know USA is the lead host, so they have most of the games as well. So you wonder if it is because of the country they're trying to do something to get from it. I mean, you're hosting a major tournament, you definitely want to earn from it as a nation, as an economy, do what it is. But I mean, this is a mundial, this is the biggest football tournament in the world. So I think something needs to be done. I don't know, just make it accessible. More like that's the basic to do for the fans, to make sure they enjoy this game. My concern is just supporters of the smaller nations. I mean, they want to see, those debutants as well, who would want to go on and see their countries playing the World Cup for the very first time. Make it accessible for them. And, that's just what I just feel something needs to be done. We still have more than 30 days before the World Cup starts. Yeah. I'm just having a feeling like when we started the show. So I'm just having a feeling that something might change. Yes, it might go on to be, it is right now the most expensive World Cup on paper, but I just hope something might just go on to change from now before the tournament starts. So let's just make it accessible. That's the basic that needs to be done. I know we are still going to enjoy the football. In as much as we want to complain, we love the sport. We'll still enjoy the game. We'll still watch it on TV. We'll still see some dramas on the pitch. It's the World Cup as well. We're still going to see some highlights and all that. But, for the fans out there who can't afford this, I think FIFA needs to step in and do something.
Felix, I saw a conversation 2 days ago where Manny already pinpointed that particular one. Mentioned the fact that football tickets for the World Cup might be expensive, but if there's something Americans know how to do, they know how to sell out stadiums. I mean, it's something they do, but America is not a soccer crazy country. they are more of a football crazy country. If this was a Super Bowl, I don't think we'll even be
Well,
having this conversation.
Yeah,
because
but the problem with that statement is Americans know how to sell tickets when it involves Americans. The United States will not play every game at the World Cup. Yes, there will be US citizens who would want to go and watch, say, Ghana,
games,
Portugal, watch those games. But it would, they might say, I don't have any doubt that the whole games that the US will play,
those be sold
they
out.
will be sold out. The games that Canada will play, the games that Mexico will play, the games that neighboring cities or countries
Brazil
will play would be sold out. The problem, like you mentioned, is those countries that are coming from afar.
Cape Verde.
If the Cape Verde,
like I'm talking about smaller ones, like
Tunisia, Morocco,
their nationals are not a lot around the world.
I mean,
if it's Nigeria
fans,
now, you can say, if we qualified, we
if
have
the tickets
people
were
who stay in the
accessible
United
and the
States.
visa and everything, traveling was easy. You still have fans that will travel from those countries. But if those ones that want to travel cannot go, and the ones that are living in the country still find it expensive to go, those stadiums would end up being empty. So yes, that statement of Americans know how to find a way. The NBA is Americans that are involved. The NFL, Americans involved. Their music concerts, Americans involved. So they would definitely sell those. But we are talking about a tournament that would have countries from Asia, from New Zealand, from Africa, from other parts of the world. How will America help those people fill their stadium? That's the question. And it's not looking like it's going to be a very good one. It should not be nice. You're playing the World Cup in America and they will have to be instructing broadcasters, only carry your camera, go where fans dey. You cannot see the full stadium. You know they used to have
yes.
upper, like
the upper,
in the FA Cup, they did it a lot when Man City were playing because City part of the stadium was not full. The Southampton side, when they want to go there, they will zoom out.
Yes,
when they want to go into the City one, they will zoom in. They will not show the upper. It was from pictures. You will see that so this stadium no full. Man City fans no cup. It should not be nice because those videos, those pictures, fans when they do video, it will come out obviously.
Yes, yeah.
The broadcasters no shows. The fans will still come outside. So this American will find a way to. They need to find a way to reduce this ticketing price.
So subsidize tickets.
I hope because the World Cup, the way it's looking like now, it will be very hard for any one single country to host the World Cup again. In these 48, one single country cannot host 48 nations. One single country cannot. So it's probably going to be these 3, 2 at the very least. 3 after the Morocco,
Spain and Portugal.
And we'll probably get another, maybe England and 2 other maybe
European countries. Yeah.
I hope FIFA would learn from this one very well because all these complaints we are not getting it that much from Canada and Mexico. We are getting it majorly from US and it's an expensive country to live in ordinarily. And now you are bringing the World Cup into those places. FIFA should factor in all of this when people are bidding to host the World Cup.
Okay, so we should also think of this from the bidding stage before we get down to this particular one. I actually think that would definitely not be seeing a single country host a World Cup again now that it's even an expanded tournament because for when countries we are hosting 32 after the World Cup years later we get to see a lot of things that comes out after that World Cup. Brazil complained, in fact there were even protests during the Brazilian World Cup and after that till this time Brazilians still complain about the fact that particular World Cup affected their economy yes, I mean I don't think South Africa had that complaints because they were so happy to host the World Cup for Africa for the first time and there was so much that went into the South African economy. I don't think South Africa had that issue. Qatar promised a lot. They spent a lot of money. I mean, they have money. They spent a lot of money, but there are certain things they promised they were going to do differently from other countries. I mean, they showed us the fact that they were going to dismantle certain stadiums and then take them to different parts recycle those stadiums, but those things were never done after the 2022 World Cup. So it was just all mouths and all show before the World Cup. So maybe this part of FIFA trying to spread it across other countries would help in this particular one. But yes, with about 40-something days left to the biggest footballing tournament, we would have a lot to talk about on the show in subsequent editions of the Gliders. As this time around, the latest is FIFA has increased the prize money for this World Cup, just as CAF did when we're going for the previous AFCON that was hosted in Morocco. So yes, this new one will have bigger money to play for, a big prize on the line. There's no player that wants to go to the World Cup that does not want to win the World Cup. But yes, we'll have just one of those 48 who would win it. Who will it be? That conversation maybe in subsequent editions, maybe we'll start talking about that, but for now it's still FIFA, it's still the United States and all the shenanigans like Felix mentioned that is still buzzing the conversation. But yes, if you have gotten to this particular part of the program, remember that
it's not just the World Cup prize money, they increase also participation fees
for countries
for every country
that
so
participated.
They've agreed, so it's not a speculation, but they've agreed, so it's just for the final figures to be out,
to be released
later this week. So
unfortunately it will not reach us, but we will meet this in the hands of DR Congo in the hands of DR Congo, who did what had to be done and qualified for their first World Cup since 1972, if I'm not mistaken. When they were still referred to as Zaire. 1974, yes, that particular one. So yes, we would have more monies for countries who qualified and are participating, more monies for the winners. All of that is what FIFA has promised now. But if you've got to this part of the show and you've not subscribed before, please subscribe and share to your friends. Also, the previous conversation before the break where we talked about the managers in which Chelsea should be looking forward to signing in the summer after they finish the season. If you have a different opinion, as usual, our comment section is where we always have the conversations buzzing after every edition of the show. So drop your comments there. I remember to share this episode as you always do with your friends to ensure that they enjoy what we're enjoying. And this is where we'll be drawing the curtains for today on the Glider, the final edition for the month of April.
Time flies, man.
Time flies, yeah.
We start come back from Morocco.
From Morocco, now we are already almost. We are getting into the second month in a new quarter. That's the second quarter of 2026. Before you know it, the second quarter is done, and by start of the third quarter, we're already thick into the World Cup itself, because it starts in June.
Yep.
And by the time that is over, the WAFCON starts at the end of that same month. And then by the time we're coming back, the season is starting. So there's always footballing conversations to talk about. If you talk about other sports, while we're not going to talk about much sports, other sports like tennis right now is because we're waiting for the major Grand Slams. And very soon we'll be having the Roland Garros. Yes, there's been confirmed news that the defending champion of back-to-back Roland Garros is in Carlos Alcaraz. We're missing this one due to a wrist injury, but we'll be talking about the Roland Garros when it's about to start and talk about our favorites. I think everybody's favorite in the men's category is already Yannick Sinner.
You probably should not play it. Just give it to him.
Because of how dominant he always is until we get to see him play Alcaraz in the final. Always. So we always call it a Sincaraz final, but he will not be having in this particular edition of the Roland Garros. But that is how much we'll have on the show today. Thank you so much, Emmanuel, for being on the show and for not allowing us walk alone on the show as usual.
It's a pleasure, always a pleasure.
Let's
continue.
I have my eyes on you.
Why do you have your eyes on you?
I have a talking stage.
No.
That's progress.
No. Progress. For every edition we are on this show, we always find a way to actually throw a snide comment at Felix. If this is your first time watching, by the way, that's the reason. So right now he's giving us updates that maybe those days are finally behind us, and it's a talking stage. Let's not jump the gun.
Exactly.
I said might now.
Alisari block Karawa. For the WhatsApp.
See, this is the era I'm supposed to be attending people's weddings. Which one is you want to block yourself? Guy, be serious to life. Remember that we promised you that we're going to do worse in the next Valentine edition. You have until then to fix up your life.
I have 10 months.
Yeah. Time flies. What did we just say?
No, 10 months will be 10 years. So just know.
But yes, so the man who supports a club that has Bruno Fernandes and is not as frequent as he is. By the way, guys, do you think Fernandes can break that record?
He will.
We have the one in Italy. Actually,
he will add one more against Brentford. Then the remaining games.
I wanted to just do the two
shy.
Don't do the two today. Let's know that you're only chasing breaking the record.
Actually,
I don't want to jinx it.
because that's how we thought that Kevin De
Kevin
Bruyne
De
was
Bruyne.
going to break it, and he just
5 games
matched
to go, he
the
had
record.
18 or so.
Yes, and he
Well,
just
managed to
match the record of Thierry
hero.
Henry. Thierry Henry had the strong goal, but
You know they get injury today, they go match in 2 now. Out of the rest of the season.
I'm
Don't
looking forward to watching that particular game.
Beg.
Thank you so much, Felix, for joining us on this show today. It was nice having you for the first time this month.
No words.
I know my enemies. Different variations of
But
enemies.
yes, guys, I'll see you again in May. Till then, remember to stay clear.
It's workers' days on Friday.
And get your PVC. It's one of those things I will keep telling you.
Don't collect rice.
No collect rice.
Holy God.
I beg, no cholera is very important.
Bye bye, guys.